Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Tonight, a 3-year-old boy is back at home and safe, thankfully, after a terrifying situation. Police say he was kidnapped outside of his home in West Phoenix.
Yeah, that's right. And it caused some terrifying scenes for that boy's family and their neighbors as they tried to bring him to safety. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly is joining us now in studio. And Chase, you actually spoke with people who helped take down the suspect.
Green Bay, Mark, they say the suspect stole a truck parked out in the owner's driveway. Inside that truck, his 3-year-old son. Neighbors jumped into action when they heard that father screaming for help.
He goes, "Just let my baby go." He goes, "I don't care about the truck. I want my baby."
Rhonda Kirkpatrick watched as one of her neighbors came sprinting down the sidewalk yelling for his son who had just been taken.
The father ran so far, trying to catch up with him.
On Sunday morning near the I-10 and 67th Avenue, Phoenix police say the father had his 3-year-old son in the back of his pickup truck parked in his driveway. The truck was left running. Kirkpatrick said the dad was kenneling their dog when he turned around and saw another man get inside the truck and take off with the boy still inside.
It's immediate heartbreak. It would kill me. Somebody taking my kid.
Kirkpatrick says the father ran after the truck, screaming for help. She and about 10 other neighbors were outside when it happened.
All the people were saying, "Let the baby out of the truck."
The suspect, later identified by Phoenix police as 22-year-old Francisco Ruiz, claims he didn't know there was a kid in the truck when he took it. He even claimed he turned around to bring the toddler back. When he did, Kirkpatrick says those neighbors pulled him from the driver's seat.
He held him by the back of his collar and held him up against the fence.
Others used their cars to block the road. That's when another neighbor went into the truck and got the boy out, handing him to his father.
It's just like his arms were wrapped all the way around his kid. It was just like, "That's my baby."
With the kid out, Kirkpatrick said she brought the father and son into her house and gave them water. She then says Ruiz tried to run.
He tried to take off with the vehicle again,
but was once again stopped by neighbors until police arrived and took Ruiz into custody.
It really is amazing. I love how everybody pulled together. That's what it's supposed to be.
Ruiz is facing charges of kidnapping and car theft. Now, I did briefly speak with the boy's father today, who told me he didn't want to do an interview at this time, saying he's really still traumatized from that day, but is more than thankful his son is safe. Green
Yeah, he's got to be really shaken up. Thank goodness everyone stepped in to help. All right, Chase, thank you. The White House has agreed to partially resume SNAP benefits. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says that it will pull $4.6 billion from its contingency fund, which would cover roughly half of each eligible household benefits. However, recipients will not see the payments immediately, and it could take up to several weeks for the money to go out. This comes after tens of millions of Americans didn't receive their SNAP benefits over the weekend due to the ongoing shutdown.
Well, tomorrow is Election Day, and depending on where you live, there are several key races on the Arizona ballot. In Maricopa County, Prop 409 is asking voters to provide nearly $900 million to help Valleywise Health. That's the county's largest public hospital. If it's approved, the bond would fund a new 200-bed behavioral health hospital to replace the current 50-year-old facility. In Mesa, voters will decide whether to recall City Councilwoman Julie Spilsbury. Dorian Taylor is vying for the seat, and she is backed by the powerful political interest group Turning Point Action. The group claims that Spilsbury betrayed Republican voters by supporting Kamala Harris and Ruben Gallego last year. And in cities across the state, there are dozens of school board, bond, and citywide races. If you didn't mail your ballot back last week, you can still use a ballot drop box tomorrow until 7 o'clock. To find your nearest location, just head to beballotready.vote.
And be sure to tune in to 12 News and 12 Plus tomorrow night. We'll have live coverage of the results as they start to come in. We'll also have updates on some of the big races across the country, including the New York City mayor's race and the redistricting effort in California. Our coverage begins at 8 p.m. on 12 Plus. Just download it on your TV and you can watch for free.
New at 10, law enforcement responded to 2 massive parties in the East Valley involving minors over the weekend. Both the Maricopa and Pinal County Sheriff's offices were involved, and they tell us that hundreds of people, primarily teens, were there. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono has been looking into these parties. She's live with us in studio tonight. And Bianca, when I hear East Valley, Queen Creek, large teen gatherings, it brings back horrible memories.
And you're not alone. It does for so many people in the East Valley. It's really why these parties have caused concern amongst residents there, especially considering the number of people in attendance. Videos going viral on social media showing a Maricopa County Sheriff's Office helicopter being used to shut down a party in Queen Creek. MCSO tells 12 News they became aware of the party early in the day on Saturday, working with the Queen Creek Police Department to ensure the homeowners were aware of it. Police were ready to respond if needed, and that happened just after 10 p.m. when curfew hit for minors under the age of 16. MCSO says there were multiple 911 calls as hundreds of people showed up to the party. We spoke off camera with the homeowner who hosted it. She said it was her son's party, and they had security and bag checks to prevent alcohol from being brought in. They talked to police ahead of time and said they were expecting around 500 people, but more than that showed up, likely due to flyers like this one on Snapchat, advertising an 8:30 start time, ending whenever the police shut it down. A few miles away on Friday night, another party advertised on social media, drawing in hundreds of people. This one happened near Gary Road and Hunt Highway, and the Pinal County Sheriff's Office says there were well over 250 people there. More than a dozen deputies responded, along with assistance from Queen Creek Police, and juveniles began running away. Though no shots were reported fired, a teenager reported he had been hit with a firearm. 2 people were arrested, both siblings who lived in the home. One woman is facing multiple charges related to hosting the party, and a man is facing charges too, including assault. And Queen Creek police released a statement today in response to concern amongst residents. They said social gatherings are not illegal, but when a gathering becomes unruly or involves unlawful behavior like underage drinking, excessive noise, or roadway construction or obstruction, they will intervene. We're live in studio tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thank you. Now to the West Valley, where a family is looking for 2 Good Samaritans who jumped into action helping a woman after a serious crash on the Loop 303 near Grand Avenue. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra isn't surprised with their search.
But it's also heartwarming to see that there are still good people in the world.
This grainy photo and a lot of hope is driving a search to find 2 Good Samaritans who stopped to help an Arizona woman after a serious crash.
She was focused on that, wanted to know who the gentlemen were that stopped to help her.
Tyler and Melanie Leonard tell me their aunt and uncle were on their way home last Friday afternoon, sitting in stop traffic in the Loop 303 Grand Avenue exit lane when a Ford F-350 pickup truck rear-ended their van at highway speeds. The impact sent their van into the left lanes of traffic, and their uncle died on impact.
The right side was completely just impacted because when they got pushed out, he kind of went, the other truck went next to him, I guess, and left a lot of damage, so they couldn't even get him out.
DPS says the pickup truck continued on and crashed into 2 other cars, injuring a total of 4 more people, including their aunt. But these 2 men immediately got out of their car and moved her to safety until first responders arrived.
It means everything.
What did it mean to your aunt?
Ugh. That's the first thing she told us is she wanted to say thank you. She's like, I wish I'd gotten their names. I wish I had gotten their phone numbers. She's like, I know nothing about them. I barely remember what they look like because she was in shock, obviously.
The Leonards are now asking for help identifying the men, turning to neighbors through Facebook for clues. One of the users shared this ADOT photo, which shows one of the men in a reflection vest and the other in all black clothing.
And I've had hundreds and hundreds of messages and people sending prayers and love and trying their best, checking dash cams, trying to find footage that other people were sent. So a lot of random people, strangers, are trying to help us, which is amazing.
The Leonards know these men could be far away by now, but they're hopeful that the power of good people will help their message find them.
Thank you. From the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you.
If anyone recognizes these men, you can reach out directly to us at 12 News, and we will help connect you with this family. In Surprise, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
All right, Gabby, thank you.